Welcome to Sew Denim Quilting. I'm Glenda Burton. Do you have a stash of denim jeans that you've been hanging on to make a denim quilt? Don't know what to make? Hopefully I can inspire you to create your own awesome quilts. Grab those denim jeans and let's get started. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk to you about my projects I've been working on, even though I haven't showed them in a long time, and some new ones I've started. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is the Temperature Quilt, and that is my January, February, March, April. So that's through April, and as you can see, we had a lot of cold temperatures, had some random warm ones in there, and it started to warm up towards April. I'll show you the other ones I've gotten done. As you can see, as we moved from April to May to June, July, and August, we went from cooler evenings and days to days that got into the 60s. Once it moved into June, we had quite a few 80s as highs, and the pink represents the 90s. And in August, we had one red one over there, and that red one represents 100 degrees. So we did hit 100 at least one day. The rest of the highs were in the 90s, and the lows were in the 50s. That's the green. Yellows are 60s, and the oranges are 80s. It was a little bit cooler this year. We usually hit the 90s a little bit earlier in the summer. July is usually really, really hot. Something that I did to keep track of which month was which month where it started at, I put the square at the end and the beginning. So this one at the end of July, I ended with July, and then in August I started with another denim square. But I just used little scraps of denim and wrote each month on them so that I knew which months was which month, and I knew which way they were going. September and October next. I do have November started. I am keeping up, but there's only 2 rows and it's not really that exciting. So I kept them in groups of 2 months at a time. I did like May and June are one section, then July and August, and then September and October will be another set. November and December will be my last set. I haven't decided if I want to make my sections a little bit bigger before I quilt them, because I'm going to be quilting this on my domestic machine, and so I don't want to get them too big. I can't decide if they're too big if I put 4 months together, or if I should keep them at 2. What do you think? Should I keep them at 2 months at a time? Or should I put 4 months together like I have here? September and October. We had at least 200 days in September. Then October it started to cool down into the 70s and 60s, and some lows in the 30s, and even down into the 20s. We've had some lows in October. So it's starting to cool off, as you will see when we put up November and December. But we haven't got through December yet, so we're working on November, and I do have those rows sewed. I just gotten those up yet. So one of the other I was working on was the Riley Blake Sew Along the Spring, and I got through all of my blocks. Here are my blocks from that. There's block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, block 6, block 7, block 8, 9, 10, there's 10, 11, there's 11, there's 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. There's 16. And as you can see, they're all different pieces of scrappy material. And I decided I wanted to do a different type of setting. So I decided I'm going to try to do a shadow block. Is what I'm going to try to do. So I have some gray here that I found, and of course the Smaller pieces will be the denim, and I have several different sizes of different colors of denim because it's just the scraps. So the next time you see this, hopefully I will have them, the shadows on them. And that was my Riley Blake sew along. I also have progress to show you on my Sherry McConnell monthly blocks. So here's, you've seen some of these, but here is January, February, March, April, May, June, there's June. I did a little block in the middle. July, August. I actually did pretty good on my points. September. There's September. There's October. I tried to get some orange in there for October. And there's my November. And I used, instead of a big block, and like she did, she used the smaller blocks. I did fussy cut mine. So that's for the 12-inch blocks. And then these are the 6-inch blocks. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, there's September, October, and November. So those are my Sherry McConnell blocks. We only have one block left to go, and that's December, and then we'll see the instructions to put it together, and hopefully that won't become a UFO either. Last year, I sewed along with the Sewcialites 1, and I made the 6-inch blocks. This time, I decided to get brave with the Sewcialites 2 and do the 3-inch blocks. Now, they're not perfect, and that's okay. The point of Sewcialites 2 and 1 is that you get out of your comfort zone. You can pick a fabric line. I didn't. I'm just using what's in my scrap pile. And you make the blocks along with the rest of the Sewcialites group. Holly is hosting it, and all the links are on the Jolly Jabber, and I'll link to those below. This was the first one I did, and it didn't turn out quite. It didn't pop. I didn't care for it as much. So then I tried this one, and this one turned out a lot cuter. Again, like I said, it's not really perfect, but hey, I'm working with denim. Nothing's going to be perfect. This was my block 2, and I liked the way it came out, so I decided not to make a second one. So there's block 2. Now this was block 3, and it was lots of tiny pieces. And I just could not get they started out good, but my squares, I got little ones on that side, and those are about the size they're supposed to be. This side, they were the right size in the middle. And it just, they're cute. It's okay that they're not perfect. The point is that I'm trying, and I'm improving and learning along the way. So that was block 3, and this was block 4. And this one's was a little bit easier. It was the easiest one we've done so far, and I liked how it turned out. I did it a little bit different than the instructions suggested. I made double half square triangles instead of just one at one, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different fabrics. So I ended up with 2, and in the middle I did this cute little flower print, and because it's fall, I put this little pumpkin in there. We'll link to the Sewcialites page, and they come out every Friday. Kimberly is currently sewing them in 9-inch blocks, I believe. And then she'll sew 6-inch blocks, and she'll sew some in 3-inch blocks. And then she has a separate setting for that. I'm just doing the 3-inch blocks, and we'll see how well they turn out. I will link to Kimberly's Jolly's page, Fat Quarter Shop, and this one, and then I will also link to Sherry McConnell's page for the one that she's doing. And I will continue to work on my Temperature Quilt, which is coming along. I'm staying current. If you want to join in on any of these, it's never too late to join in. The one that Sherry McConnell is doing is actually where we have one block left, but they don't take very long to sew up. They're really easy. So if you want to jump in and make it, you can still get it done before the end of the year. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.